A job seeker asked, when an employee resigns their job, how does the employer remember if they would want to rehire that employee again in the future? Well, the answer is that they likely have a policy or a standard practice that determines if that former employee will be hired again by that employer in the future. We all know that employers do not rehire employees who behave badly or perform poorly while they're employed with them. However, what many don't realize is that not all people who are employees who resign from their jobs are rehire eligible. So, what happens is that human resources usually codes the former employee's file using one of three rehire eligibility categories. They are rehire eligible, conditionally rehire eligible, or not rehire eligible. So let's look at and examine each one and what they mean. So number one, if a former employee's file is coded rehire eligible, that means that they would be welcomed back with open arms by their former employer. This is an employee who has had no behavioral or performance issues during their time with the employer, or at least no major ones. Then number two is that former employees who had some minor behavior or performance issues during their employment with the organization may be coded as conditionally rehire eligible. This means that they may be considered for rehire if they can prove that they have matured in the areas where they fell short during their previous employment, or they may be rehire eligible after a certain amount of time. For example, 3 years have passed since they last worked for the organization. Then number three, and finally, some former employees are deemed not rehire eligible. This means that their behavior and or performance violated a major company policy or even the law. As a result, the employer will not hire them again, ever. So in conclusion, the days of working for one employer for an entire career are gone. So every employee's goal should be to leave each employer in a positive light. Let's face it, we never know what bridges we may have to cross again. So even if you hate your job, always remain professional in your behavior and your performance. That way, the door will hopefully be open to your return if an irresistible opportunity arises and you want to work there again. Hopefully, you found this post useful. So, wherever you're watching, like it, subscribe, or leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. My goal is to help you live your best career life. So, career success to you. Go get your new job.